If he doesn't, I think the project could theoretically still move forward. It will just change into maybe each movie will be a different possible backstory for the Joker. It will be a different decade and a different version of the Joker. Hello, Big Show nerds! I'm back. Things are different. We're gonna do all the addressing of the things right after we hit the intro. Before we get to the intro, though, I just wanted to let you guys know we are officially here at Big Show Entertainment Network. We are officially working on sponsorships, and today's episode is kind of sort of brought to you by Cineworld, who owns Regal Theaters, which is where we do our movie reviews. So go check out. They have an app. I apologize, I didn't put it in the notes, but they have an app. Go check it out. The Regal app is so you can get your movie tickets. Go out to the movie theater because Regal cinemas are open now. Definitely check it out. Most cinemas are open now unless they closed because they couldn't stay in business. Everyone should be open at this point to some degree, be it mask mandates or social distancing or occupancy caps. All of those things could very well be in place in your area, but you can still go witness movies in a theater again, and that is a fantastic thing. Now let's hit the intro. Let's hit up TV streaming. TV streaming right now everything is going. So it wasn't as big as I was hoping it was considering we've been gone for so long, but we do have some stuff to catch up on. So first, we have a follow-up on Sandman, the Netflix series, just got its entire cast announced. So we'll go over that real quick. I'm not gonna go over everyone that's already been announced. You can check the show notes down low. A couple of the noteworthy ones. Patton Oswalt is going to be the voice of Matthew the Raven. Very interesting to me was the fact that there's no delirium. And then also the Johanna Constantine. So it's not going to be John Constantine. It's going to be Johanna Constantine, which is John Constantine's great-great-great-great-grandmother. But it's going to be in a modern version of that character, presumably maybe from a different universe. Very interesting. It's not how the original book goes, so I don't care what Neil Gaiman says. It's not going to follow the first book exactly, but it still has potential of being great. I hope. Maybe. But yeah, so again, check the show notes for the entire listing of the new cast and who they're going to be playing. No delirium once again. Strange. Moving on. Our next piece is another follow-up on the Powerpuff Girls. The live-action series that was going to the CW is not going to the CW soon. So the pilot did not work out as they had hoped. I saw one of the producers calling it a little too campy, but I don't believe that that's the entire story because there was a leak of the script that made its way to the internets, and the fan base kind of pooped all over it, to be friendly with the words. It was hot garbage. So it doesn't sound like they're going to be recasting any of the actors. It does, though, sound like they are going back to the drawing board. Sound like they are going back to the drawing board to retool this series and make it something that the fan base is going to react to. There was, I don't know, just a weird preoccupation with like sex, and it's like, these are the Powerpuff Girls. That's not the kind of story that these characters should be telling. I don't know, yeah. Hopefully, what actually makes it on the air will be 10 times better than that leaked script, but we won't know that until it happens. So we're moving on. And our last piece is a little bit of a follow-up and just something I wanted to plug. The Friends reunion finally has made its way to HBO Max. If you are a fan of the show, even in the slightest, it's definitely worth a watch. I watched it's something like 2 hours or something. It's awesome. If you have even a passing enjoyment for it, and you have an HBO Max subscription, then it's totally a thing to do. I would almost go so far as to say this is probably one of the things that if I didn't already have HBO Max would tip me on the side of, all right, I'll pay the freaking $6 a month. So yeah, that's what we have for the TV streaming section. Now for the thing that the second likely thing that you're all here for, and that's the movie section. Movies, we do have one follow-up. It has to do with Spider-Man No Way Home. Sorry, I abbreviated it in the notes and my brain just farted it all over me. Spider-Man No Way Home. Tom Holland, this will be his last solo movie on the contract. Is still one more guest appearance, be that a cameo or as part of an ensemble for one of the larger Marvel movies. That is still in his contract as well. But as far as the solo movies go, this is his last one. But we do know that Sony and Marvel have a good relationship. Once again, we also know that Tom Holland really loves playing this character and has said he would love to play this character forever. I'm paraphrasing, but that's the gist of it. So the odds of this actually being his last solo Spider-Man movie are pretty slim. Slim and none, and Slim just left the building. So I wouldn't hold your breath too long to see if it's going to happen, because it's very likely going to happen. He's going to sign another contract, probably get a little bit more money, and continue being everyone's favorite neighborhood Spider-Man. So that is the follow-ups, and now we have news, and we're kicking things. It's gonna be huge. The first piece is Joker 2, the thing that they kept saying is never gonna happen. The creative people, not the studio types, but the creatives behind the first Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, all said, and all being Joaquin and Todd Phillips, that there was not going to be a sequel. This is going to be a standalone movie. They made it for approximately $55 million. It made the studio over $1 billion, and therein lies the news. Because it was so huge, because it made them so freaking much money, the studio went, yeah, maybe we can, grease some pockets, make this happen. It is officially announced. I have seen some, news outlets still marking it as rumor, but it is officially announced that Todd Phillips is returning as co-writer, not producer, not director, but co-writer of a sequel to the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. Joaquin, on the other hand, has not signed anything. That is definitely rumor fodder that we will get to in the rumor mill, but confirmed Todd Phillips is co-writing. He's not the sole writer. He is the co-writer of the sequel that we knew was going to happen in spite of everything Todd Phillips told us. Just freaking bizarre. Our next piece is a real quick announcement for Kraven the Hunter. This one's probably one that you've already heard, but it's kind of big because we had so much speculation as who is going to play Kraven. Now we know it is going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Kick-Ass, was in the first Godzilla movie, was Quicksilver, all of these things, and now he's going to be Kraven the Hunter. It seems like he's pretty comfortable playing comic book characters, so why not stick with something that you like doing, right? So that's what we've got there. Next, we're talking about, again, one that you hopefully have already heard, but was too big to ignore, and that is Highlander. There can be only one. Highlander, Henry Cavill has been cast as the lead. Now, the specifics of that are still not known as to, is it going to be a full-on reboot? So he would be Connor McLeod, I believe, was the movie one. I don't remember what the TV guy's name was, the character's name. I could have that backwards. Maybe the TV was Connor McLeod. Either way, no word if he's going to be either of those, the original movie character played by Christopher Lambert, or the Connor, the McLeod guy, whatever, for the TV series, whose name, the actor's name I can't remember right now. I suck at notes. But yeah. Henry Cavill is going to be the Highlander. That very likely will happen. The Joker thing, I don't think is actually 100% right now going to make it to screen. They're going to write a script, and Sony is going to try, or Sony, Warner Brothers is going to try and throw a bunch of money at it, but there's no guarantee we're going to see that movie. Highlander, however, sounds like they've already got a script. They definitely have their leading man. Henry Cavill is a busy freaking Superman these days, though it has been said that it will not interfere with the possibility of him coming back as Superman. So there's rumors there. We're not going to really cover any of them, though, because they're all super speculative and not even registering on any sort of import. So moving right along, we have an update. I should have put this a little in the follow-up section, but whatever. Seth Rogen on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated reboot. Seth Rogen has given us a teaser image, which hopefully you are seeing on your screen right about now. That teaser image is Leonardo's homework, and it also gives us apparently a release date. That release date is August 11th of 2023, so we still have a fair amount of time before we see this movie. And not a whole lot to go on here. Definitely seems like it's going to have some sort of 90s theme, so it's going to be set hopefully when the Turtles are actually still teenagers, because that makes all of the sense. And yeah, just sounds like it still has a strong possibility of being another great Ninja Turtles movie. And then our final piece for the movie section is that Warner Brothers Discovery merger I mentioned a moment ago in the other section. Warner Brothers Discovery, it's not super huge news that the merger is happening. The details are getting a little bit lost in some of the other news outlets. So the real quick TLDR of the merger-ish of what's going on is as such. So Discovery and AT&T have taken the Warner Brothers and Discovery brands and created a new entity with them. So kind of AT&T sold Warner Brothers, but kind of didn't. But the big thing is that it's not really changing that many hands, because there were way too many hands in the pot before. They're just kind of getting rid of some of them and adding one set, which is good, because now we only have one producer to blame when something fails on Warner Brothers' side instead of 7 or 9, I think, at one point. So one direction. Hopefully that's going to happen with this merger. The big news, though, where the new news, I guess, because that's the big part. But the new part is that there has been an official announcement as to what this new entity that they have created together is going to be called. And it's going to be called Warner Brothers Discovery, because it's super original. And yeah, it's kind of dumb. You could have come up with something better than that, I feel like. But brand recognition is a thing that producer types really don't understand. They think that us plebes don't see what's going on. So they're like, oh, we have to use the same names or they're not going to know it's us. Yeah, we're going to know it's you. But whatever. It's a losing battle. It's not an argument to make. But that is the new announcement. That is the movie section. And we're moving right along. Okay, so rumor mill. I'm gonna address something real quick about the meta of the show. I'm going to try and make the second episode of the week rumor heavy and less news, whereas the first episode of the week is going to be more news and less rumors. So I do have some rumors to address. There is a confirmation, or technically a refutation, in here as well. So it still exists. It's just going to be the next episode this week, assuming I get to it, because again, day job schedules and such. But yeah, there's going to be more rumors later this week or in the next episode, whichever happens first. So confirmations, refutations. We do have 2 in this section. They both have to do with Spider-Man No Way Home. And the first of those is apparently it hasn't been officially confirmed, though now it has been officially confirmed that this movie is going to be a multiverse movie. It's going to deal with the multiverse somehow. I feel like that was kind of announced, maybe not in so many words, but they've already said, because it's the third movie, or it's the third part of the story that started in WandaVision, is going to go to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and into Spider-Man 3. That already implies that it's a multiverse movie, so why did we need this official announcement / confirmation? I don't know, but there it is. And the other one that has to do with Spider-Man No Way Home comes from Emma Stone, who recently, in an interview, I believe with Variety, I didn't write it down, has refuted her existence in the movie. She is not coming back as Gwen Stacy. We're not going to see her as Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider or whichever iteration of that character people were speculating was going to be in this movie. She's not going to be in this movie. It is what it is. We're moving on. So in the actual rumors section, we have 2 Star Wars rumors, and the first one is persistent and will not go away, so we're going to get to it. So the first Star Wars movie has to do with George Lucas. George Lucas is rumored to be coming back into the fold once again. We did see George Lucas on the set of the last, 5 Star Wars projects, so I can understand where this rumor is coming from. I don't think that the big wigs over at Lucasfilm are really aching for him to come back yet, as much as I feel like they maybe kind of should. Although I do still stand by my stance of he did do those prequel movies and they were pretty mediocre to begin with. So it's kind of a mixed bag. The prequel series was definitely better than the sequel series, and it's kind of 6 one way, half a dozen the other. See which one fills up first. The validity of this, I'm going to put right at 50% because it could honestly swing either way. The rumor does go on to say that he is going to come in for the next trilogy of movies as a producer, not an executive producer. So he's going to be theoretically a little bit more hands-on than an executive producer would be. He's not going to be a writer. He's not going to be a director. He's going to be a producer, again, according to the rumors. So that kind of lends itself to a little bit more validity, but not enough for me to bump it up over 50%. Our other rumor for Star Wars is that Daisy Ridley is going to be returning as Rey for a future Star Wars project. The fact that it does not specify movie or series kind of lends to its favor, because I don't know that there is a movie direction that they're planning on going that could include Rey, but in the series that they have going right now, that's very feasible. So I'm putting this one, again, because of the weirdness that is Lucasfilm these days. I can't really put any of these Star Wars rumors above 50%. So we're looking at about a 50-50 chance that we're going to see the character of Rey in a future Star Wars project. So now we're talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. This is the bit that I was teasing before. Spider-Man No Way Home, the rumor is that this movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, is going to be the thing that connects the Spider-less Sony universe with the Spider-full MCU over at Disney. This is going to set up the Sinister Six, which is getting its series or movie. They still haven't, they're kind of being a little vague. It sounds like maybe more likely to be a movie than a series, but I feel like I want the series more, so we're going to leave that door open. Anyway, so this is going to be the connective tissue that's going to connect Sony to Disney, and that's going to bridge that gap. We have heard a variation of this rumor multiple times with every Spider-Man movie that's come out since the MCU formed. No, I cannot give this too much credence. There is a little bit of weight behind it because that, you know, the studio executives are not entirely stupid, but they are kind of stupid. So the likelihood that this movie will acknowledge the Sony universe beyond anything as more than like a line of dialogue is pretty slim. So I do think there is a possibility that we will get that line of dialogue, but that doesn't really mean that there's connective tissue there. So we're going to put this right about 30% validity to this rumor. Next, we are talking about rumors for the Joker 2. Again, talked about these in a previous section, so watch the rest of the movie or the video. So Joker 2. There have been rumors about this freaking movie ever since it crossed that billion, ever since they were done with production, let alone released and made more than $1 billion. Rumors bound with the movie. Two biggest rumors, though, are Joaquin Phoenix is being offered $50 million to return as the titular character. Now, if you recall, the original movie was made for $55 million. So they're offering him almost the entirety of the first budget to come back and play this character. Not saying money talks, but it kind of does. The other rumor here is that there's going to be not one sequel, but two sequels. They're going to turn this into a trilogy. This is not the first time we have heard such a rumor, but this is the first time we have heard such a rumor since the announcement that Todd Phillips is returning to the project. So we do know that at the very least a second movie is happening, and with the state of Hollywood that we know now, it kind of lends to the credence of this that they very well could be working on 3 of these movies, and if that's the case, then that $55 million is going to be paid out to Joaquin theoretically twice. So $110 million to do 2 movies? I mean, yeah, it's not a bad payday. The validity here is gone significantly up since we heard rumors about this because of the Todd Phillips announcement. So Joaquin Phoenix returning as the Joker, is not the rumor necessarily. Them offering him the money to return as the Joker is the rumor, and I really think there's a lot here to definitely. We're putting this at about 80% validity. There is very little doubt in my mind that they are actively trying to get Joaquin to come back. If he doesn't, I think the project could theoretically still move forward. It will just change into maybe each movie will be a different possible backstory for the Joker. It will be a different decade and a different version of the Joker because, to keep the unreliable narrator kind of thing with the Joker's backstory going. I think that's honestly a better way to go. So a large part of me hopes that Joaquin doesn't take the money, but that is for a completely different video sometime later. That's what we have on Joker 2. Next, we're moving over to He-Man, not the Kevin Smith animated series, but the live action movie that has kind of been announced, unofficially announced, I think is the proper phrase for that. But Henry Cavill and Chris Hemsworth both appear to be in the running to play He-Man. Henry Cavill is having his freaking moment in the sun. Chris Hemsworth has been in the sun for a while, so both of these are very likely candidates should this movie actually move forward. We're going to actually put this a little bit above halfway because both of those guys make perfect freaking sense. Hemsworth a little bit more than Cavill because Hemsworth blonde, He-Man blonde, that kind of stuff. But still, 60% validity because the rumor just says those two guys are in the running together. It doesn't say one is more likely than the other. And it's reasonable. So 60% validity to this rumor. Our final piece of rumor is gaming related, and it is the Nintendo Switch. Again, the rumor that just won't leave us. Nintendo Switch is reportedly getting a pro version for like the 10th time. We've been talking about this, I think, for like a year and to almost 2 years at this point. Basically, since about 6 months after the Nintendo Switch launched, they've been saying that, they're working on a pro version of the console. At first it was they're working on a pro and a lesser version of the console. We got that lesser version. We got the Nintendo Switch Lite. So it I do think that it is still coming down the road. Last time we addressed rumors along this line, I said the same thing. I do think that we will get a pro version of the Switch in order to compete a little bit more with the competition and in order to bridge the gap between its next big hardware update, which will be a brand new console, probably still a few years away away from that. So, because of all that information, I think we're sitting at about a 70% chance that we will be seeing a new Nintendo Switch Pro edition of some sort in the very near future. It would help if they announced it, sometime around June 12th. E3 happening in the near future. Yeah. And that is our episode, nerds. So thank you for joining me right here on The Week in Nerddom. What did I miss? What should we talk about in the next one? Let me know in the comments down low. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. Hit me up on the Twitters, at generally_nerdy. Instagram is a place that you can go if you want to just kind of catch clips and stuff. I do post clips up on the Instagram, as well as the photography that coincides with the photography videos. All of that goes up on the Instagram, so you can check all that out. Instagram is at generallynerdy, all one word. Just find